Right, so in this video, we're going to be graphing linear inequalities, okay? When you graph inequalities, you're going to start by graphing the line as if it were an equation, okay? And then there's a couple other things we need to consider to complete the process. Okay? First thing, is the line dashed or is it solid? All right, so if the inequality symbol we're dealing with is just less than or just greater than, then the line's going to be dashed. Okay, the reason that happens is because the ordered pairs that are along that line are not considered part of the solution set. Okay, if the inequality symbol is less than or equal to or greater than or equal to, then the line's going to be considered solid because what's along the line is considered part of the solution set. It includes the points along the line. All right. Also, one extra thing that goes along with graphing linear inequalities, we're going to have to shade, okay? In a linear equation, every point, every ordered pair along the line is part of the solution. Well, with inequalities, it's going to be that line and everything on one side of that line. So we're going to have to shade one side or the other. So how do we determine what that is, okay? We're going to test ordered pairs, okay? And we're going to shade on the side of the line that includes the solution set. So if we test an ordered pair and it works, then that means we shade on that side. If we test an ordered pair and it doesn't work, then we're going to shade on the other side, okay? One of the points I always like to test is the origin, because 0, 0 is very easy to work with, okay? Assuming it's not on the original line, okay? If it's on the original line, you can't test it. All right, we have to test an ordered pair that is not on the original line that was graphed. So hopefully the line doesn't go through the origin. If it doesn't, use it to test, okay? So if the origin is on the line, you got to test something else. All right, so let's look at examples 1 and 2 here. We've got some basic lines here. Y is less than 3 and x is greater than or equal to -2, okay? So first off, we got to remember with y, we're going to have a horizontal line. Y equals some number is going to be horizontal, okay? The inequality symbol is less than, not less than or equal to, so our line is going to be dashed, okay? And y less than 3 means, y is 3 right here. Less than 3 means below that, so we're going to shade below the line, all right? Let's talk about number 2, and then we'll go to the Desmos app online here and show you what the graph is actually going to look like. Okay, with number 2, x equals some number, remember, is always going to be a vertical line, and x is -2 here, so it's going to be that vertical line through -2. The inequality symbol includes or equal to, so that means we're going to have a solid line, and this vertical line here, numbers that are bigger than -2 are to the right of -2, so we're going to shade to the right. Okay. So let's go to Desmos. I'm going to plug these in and you'll see how the shading works. I'm going to plug in all the different types of inequalities here just so you can see the difference. But let's go with y equals 3 first. Okay. So again, when you're graphing these, you want to graph the equation first. Okay. Y equals 3. Okay. Now our inequality was less than, so let's get rid of that and let's change it to less than. And you can see the line went from solid to dashed, like we said it would be. It's dashed. Less than 3 means below, so we shade everything below here, okay? If I change it, just so you can see, if I change it to less than or equal to, the only thing that changed was the line went from dashed to solid, okay? If I change it to greater than, okay, notice we've got a dashed line again, but this time the shading was above the line. And if I change it to less than or equal to, the line just went to solid, but we still shade above the line, okay? Let's go to example 2. It was x is greater than or equal to -2. Let me make sure that's negative there, okay? So again, it's a vertical line through -2, all right? If I wanted less than, okay, x is less than -2. Notice you've got the dashed line shading to the left. If I add the or equal to, it changes it to a solid line, okay? Let's change it to greater than, okay? Dashed line with the shading to the right, but the one we wanted was greater than or equal to. So again, we've got a vertical solid line here, and we shaded everything to the right, okay? So that's how you graph the most basic linear inequalities. In the second part, we're going to go over when we have two variables. We have x and y both. Okay, so this is the end of part 1.